Right before the video starts, I'd just like to say, first of all, I have Rocket League gameplay in the background, so I'd like to know from you guys if you think Rocket League, or let's say Yu-Gi-Oh! Online replays, or just a Deezer style where it's just nothing besides cards, should be in the background for discussion videos like this. So I would appreciate it if you put that in the description below. And also, this video is all opinion based, so this is just my opinion on Sage. So if Sage is your favorite Blue Eye support card, then Sage is your favorite Blue Eye support card. It's just all opinion based. So yeah, here's the video. Hello, it's Bunky, also known as Andrew. Today I wanted to make a quick discussion video on my opinion on Sage with the Eyes of Blue. Um, so yeah, first of all, before I get into the discussion, or I'd like to say that I'm making this Discord server. So if you'd like to talk to me, ask me any questions, or just join a Discord server, I'd really appreciate if you joined. The link will be in the description. So whenever I show people my Blue Eyes Invoked deck, or my Blue Eyes deck in general, if it's at locals or if it's my last deck profile, people always ask why I don't actually run Sage, and today's video is kind of why I want to discuss why I don't run Sage. Um, I personally I main Blue Eyes Invoked, so I have a better understanding. I have a good understanding of Blue Eyes in general, so um, yeah. Okay, so first of all, if you don't know what Sage with Eyes of Blue does, it's a light spellcaster tuner with 0 attack and 1500 defense, and its effect states, when this card is normal summoned, you could add one level 1 light tuner from your deck to your hand, except Sage. You can discard this card, then target one effect monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one Blue Eyes monster from your deck. You can only use the effect of Sage with the Eyes, or Sage with Eyes of Blue once per turn. So basically, what this means is it has two effects, where the first one, when you summon it, you can search a level 1 light tuner. So normally it'll be effect veiler when you do this, or sometimes it'll be an egg if you have cards of consonants and you want to draw. And its second effect is, if you have a effect monster in the field that you don't want anymore, you can discard Sage and pop the one effect monster and summon one Blue Eyes monster from your deck. So most commonly it'll either be Dragon Spirit of White or Blue Eyes, because you cannot do alternative, or yeah. So first of all, I'd like to add that Sage with Eyes of Blue came out in Shining Victories, I think it was called, and that was the set where Blue Eyes became a thing, because before that, Blue Eyes was just like a draw engine for Exodia decks or Dragon Ruler decks. So when these cards first came out, this was like the main engine for Blue Eyes, and back then in pure Blue Eyes this card's pretty good, but I wanted to discuss why I don't think it's that good in Invoked, and even in some Blue Eyes decks I don't know if it's a must-have, especially at 3. So first of all, let's just talk about Invoked. First of all, in Guard Dragon, don't play it. Guard Dragon, or most builds that aren't pure, you shouldn't play it. But that aside, this is why I don't think you should play it Invoked. So Invoked, the whole idea is you're trying to get Makaba, and that's like not your boss monster, but like he negates stuff. If you don't know what Makaba does, he basically if your opponent uses a monster effect, you can send a monster from your hand to the graveyard and negate it, and it's the same with spells and traps. But the thing with Sage is, or the thing with Makaba is, you need to have monsters in your hand or cards in your hand, and Sage is he's either a -1 or a 1-for-1, and he's not really giving you any card advantage with either of his effects, and that's one reason why you don't really want to play him in Invoked, because Invoked is about having card advantage and just playing your opponent because you have more cards. where Sage doesn't do that. The second reason why you don't really want to play him in Invoked is because, first of all, you can't really use both of his effects. A lot of Invoked players do, but um, his first effect, you need to have a normal summon, and Alistair, you're normal summoning Alistair just about every turn, so I mean, that's going to be your normal summon, so a lot of the time the normal summon search is kind of dead. Um, and then its second effect is you can target one effect monster, and once again, uh, your normal summon will be Alistair, so the only effect monster you can really target is Alistair, or sometimes you'll have an egg that you can target, or sometimes you'll have, like, you can even glow bulb to target it, but once again, you're using a lot of resources where other cards like White Sun and Ancients or glow bulb, some cards like that, they gain you card advantage, or they get, they're just like, they give you better card advantage, and that's why I think they're better. Um, and then, so in Blue Eyes Invoked, I don't play Sage, just mainly those two reasons, and I think the thing about Sage is he's kind of, if anybody plays Pokemon, there's this card called Skyla. It's not legal in the standard format, but basically what it does is it's a supporter card where you get to search one trainer card from your deck. And if you don't know anything about Pokemon, basically there's two different types of, let's just call them spells, like, so you understand. You can use them from your hand. Basically it's like a spell card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically you're only allowed to use one supporter card per turn, where Scala does search any trainer, so any spell from your deck, but you have to realize that you're using your supporter card you're using your supporter with Scala this turn, meaning any supporter you have in your hand is dead for the turn. So I kind of think it's a nice analogy where Sage is kind of like Scala, where you can use him and it'll give you some more consistency and get you some cards that you need, but it's also going to end your combos, or you're not going to be, it's like, it's not a combo standard, it kind of just ends your turn. You can search something, then you just end your turn, or you pop something and then you're just left with the Blue Eyes and you're just losing you card advantage. And yeah, I would agree that or first of all, in normal Blue Eyes, this card would be good because, or this card's okay because it just helps the consistency, but the combos aren't going to be as high because it's kind of like the same analogy where Scala, it just ends your, or it kind of just ends your turn. You search and end your turn, and that's why I don't really think Sage is the best. First of all, in Invoked, I would say play 2 max, and that's not, like, that's just if you really like Sage, you can play a couple. I would never say 3 in Invoked without a doubt. Maybe I'd say maybe even 1. But I play none, so that's just me. Um, so yeah, that's kind of just where I stand with Sage, because I don't really think it kind of just ends your turn, and it doesn't do enough, if that makes sense, because they're like $5 a card, and I without a doubt think they're a little bit overused and overhyped, and people think they're better than they actually are. So yeah, that's kind of the end of the video. Once again, please join my Discord if you'd like to talk to me, or just join a Discord, then I'd much appreciate. Thank you for watching. This was Bunky. Peace.